Abidol says, welcome Abidol. Happiness is inside job. If you don't have joy in you, you can never be happy. That's a fact. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let me see here. All right. Let's keep going.
Because that question you were asking, at one point should a woman leave a marriage? Those are questions that there's no single answer for it. Even Bumi said when she's not happy. But you said
That's what I meant by it's a general, extremely generic question. There's no one answer for it. There is an answer that Uncle Benno is looking for. It might be like, just give me a yes or a no, right? Sometimes we'll say it that way. Unfortunately, that's us yielding that's going in the direction of fairness now. That's either this or that. These conversations are never that. This conversation, this whole thing that I'm teaching is an art more than it's an exact science, right? It's like painting. It's like somebody trying to teach you how to paint correctly. Listen, it's either you know how to paint, you have the gift, or you don't. Some paintings are terrible. If 9 out of 10 people will tell you it's terrible, there's that one person that will say, it's not bad now, because it's an art, right? Relationship conversation is very similar. Trying to be objective with it is not easy because we have our emotions involved in it. The person you're talking to will mix it with their emotions. They will interpret it with their own pain, their own experience. And don't be surprised if it sounds like something that wasn't your intention. That's why I say being a good man should not be coming into this conversation. Okay? Because if being a good man is not good enough for you, that you just know that you shouldn't have to sell it, it's probably not going to be good enough, period. Right?
it culminates into a lot of things. It's not, and you can't just, it's not a one sentence question or answer. It's a lot. Nobody can say, just like Vaughn said in that podcast that, he was keeping malice, There were other things. It's not just the malice.
Yes.
But like they say, it's the last straw. Okay? But a lot of things would have been happening in the background. Then the malice now, cuckoo, made everything dissolve. So it's not a fair question to ask, when should a man leave a marriage or when should a woman leave it? And you want a one sentence answer. No. It doesn't. I don't think there's an answer. That's just one sentence.
Like I said, I originally don't even plan to call in, but it's because this is a very...
The man can leave when he's tired as well. The problem with that is that this was never balanced fairness. So a man generally don't just want to leave. He wants to take care of his family. It's not like women want to do that either. I'm just saying the dynamics are different with the way a man processes that and the way a typical woman processes that. They're just two different words. So the pursuit of fairness is the beginning of failure in a romantic relationship is the point. Let's keep going. So what you should be looking for is making sure you identify the strength and weakness. That's a lot of work. Strength and weakness. And where do we find? And we complement each other so smooth, like art, like a fine art. Like so smooth that we don't know what it is. It's just we're having a good time. And by the way, you're the one that brought me food every day for the last 3 months. But we're not complaining. Why don't you bring food 2-3 days of the week and I bring 3 days of the week? Why don't you do the chores? You're not complaining. You're having a good time. She's happy to do what she does. You're happy to do what you do. That's what it looks like. What you're looking for looks like that. And the people that don't collect in relationship, they will look at you and say, why are you accepting that? What do you mean, why am I accepting that? What am I accepting? I'm having a good time. Okay. Sure, all right, Sha. It should be fair. Both of you should clean diapers at the same time. Baba, that person that's talking like that has collected woto. Because they don't know what romantic relationship is. Now they are trying to play fair. You want to play fair? The courts will help you finish it. The divorce court will help you finish it. They will help you with that fairness that you're looking for. Because that's what they're going to go do there. Because they're not the one in the romantic relation with you. They will help you. They say, so how much assets do you have? Okay, let's share it. No, I don't want to share it. Oh, wait, you don't want to share it. That's fair. No. The court, if you can't agree in your negotiations, the court will say, you know what? Subpoena everything. We need to see everything. Wait, what was this money that went to Nigeria? Was $50,000. Okay, we're not going to ask them to send it back from Nigeria, but we're going to add it as part of your money you've gained. You're like, just like that? That's so unfair. Says who? They determine that for you because you cannot agree. The same things that you should have been doing in that relationship, you'll be forced to do it. Negotiate, or they will help you do it. Divorce is not your mate. Let me read this comment by Abidol. Abidol says, if you're emotionally and mentally detached from your toxic spouse before divorce and cultivate happiness, then you can divorce. But if you think divorcing will give you happiness, you're kidding. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Beyond Britney says, I'm so late. That's okay. You can catch up. You can watch replay.
Critical
Welcome.
situation. Please, people should not just look at it like, what is this guy saying? A lot of men don't talk these days. And I'm just saying it because...
They don't talk, but they keep malice.
Exactly. And I'm just saying it so we can have a better home. When there are a lot of men that they will not touch you, they will not beat you, they will not do anything.
That's I am a good guy thing coming into it already. I'm not going to repeat myself. I just want to hear it. They won't touch you, they won't beat you, they will not do anything. Yeah, I think we already got the answer to that. Let's go on.
Some don't even have energy to shout or yell. Once you are the one who is talking back, taking higher ground, it has to be your way or no way.
There's something we give.
Especially for those of us living in Western world. A lot of men now are even filing for divorce and say, I don't want to be with this woman. I'm just saying that know your spouse limit, your spouse boundary, and how they react when they are really angry. I was on the same show with Brola, and we argued back and forth. I think
I saw it. I heard you arguing there. I already know that you keep malice.
Join. See, the thing is this: we are in a space now whereby there are a lot of platforms that let's teach man, let's teach man, let's teach man. Cool, but let also teach women to recognize some certain behaviors.
Do you trust the information from ChatGPT? The information is not reliable, and it's difficult.
Some certain things. There are so many sweet men out there that will literally make you the center of their world.
Uncle Beno, what's sweet man? What is that?
They are sweet. They don't have this other side of them that it will shock you when they start reacting like that. That's just all I'm saying. I'm still saying it tomorrow. Come rain, come sunshine, I will take my madam over and over again because we have gone through fire and brimstone together, and we have mastered each other now. And like I'm saying, shutdown is wrong, like you said. Keeping malice is wrong and all that. Me, I don't see it as malice. For me, it's a basic principle. on one of the relations, I said something like, look, in my own family, my wife makes almost 70 or 80% of the decision. I don't even get involved in it because women run the house. Women have to come up with a lot of decisions every day. They are the ones who see how things are going. The only time I get to make decision is if we have to do something big or something really huge, or there is a huge problem that requires my leadership, and I feel like, okay, it be like say, madam might not make the right decision there, then I step in and then we look at it together. But initially it wasn't like that. So we can say, oh, Ben, you are this, Ben, you are that. But I thank God I'm still happily married.
Now, Uncle Beno don't enter Shalaye zone at this point. This conversation will do it to you. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Listen, I've seen Uncle Beno move, and he loves his wife. That's not questionable at all. We don't have the authority to question that, and we're not even going to get into that. Let's stay focused on the point, right? Let's stay focused on the point. The only thing I can say to that is that there are a lot of surface level things there, like, the woman take care of the household. Those things can be happening and they can be abusing each other emotionally, because remember, it's emotions level, right? So and the damages are actually, they are greater. The impact is greater. It will feel greater because you never expect it, you never see it coming. Your mind, everything was good, right? Until the person say, I don't think I'm in love with you anymore.
I never expected it.
Yeah. Eventually, somebody might just gain courage, right? To say, it's just eventually. That's not something that comes overnight. It could be the husband too, right? I don't think we are meant to be together, right? Something will give, something will break. You might not expect it. So I'm just saying. Not I was laughing. She said, my egbon does not keep malice. All of you back off Uncle Ben. Oh. My people have been in the background listening from the gym. Still need to do some replay later on. Shout out to you, Chinye. Appreciate you. But let me address some of the points that Uncle Benno made here very quickly. I'll do it as fire rounds because we already beat this conversation down so hard. Okay, shutdown versus malice keeping, they're all in the same family. But if you can manage to find your way back, it's just your way of withdrawing from a toxic conversation within 24 hours, that's okay. I think that can actually become a good coping mechanism. Just maybe people get upset. They are too upset, and you have the skills enough to know when enough is enough. Let's revisit the conversation. But if it's not coming from an intentional place, it's just you shutting down because you are angry with the other person, that should be checked. Okay, that is exactly what grows, because you don't become 3 months malice keeping unless you start from 24 hours first. So we have to kind of treat them equally. How long she realizes something is not right is how long it takes for Uncle Benno to come back. All right, that's putting the power in our hands. You are the king. You can't afford that, gentlemen. You cannot afford to, if we're just going with that talking point, because again, I've spoken to Uncle Benno and I understand better where she's coming from. I'm talking to the people that heard this as, well, I'm just going to wait. No, even when it comes to what we call the no contact rule, right? If we're talking about a marriage, at some point 2 weeks later, let's say somebody unilaterally pulls back from interaction with you, we do say it's okay, give them the space. You need the space. Go no contact. That doesn't mean cold turkey. It means if it's a romantic relationship outside of marriage, you live separately, leave them alone. Let them be. All right? And that's indefinitely, because, listen, that's not a marriage. If it's a marriage, you have kids together, you're probably not going to need 2 weeks. Just give them some space. Let them show like they're open again before you try to engage that situation. That is more coming from an intentional place. And because more so, I ask you to engage your personal development in that time period. You're not angry. If you were angry, you will calm down because you know clearly there's something you need to learn. Okay? In that time. So how long she realizes something is not right, if she's narcissistic enough, she thought she was right. She'll stay in that zone and she'll tell you to go to hell, depending on how much damages both of you have created in that relationship. That's not a good tactic. Then Uncle Benno said, withdraw some of the things I do for her. That can be interpreted as abusive if it keeps happening from time to time. Yes, it's, we need context around that to condemn it. But if I just go generic, that's not something that should be encouraged. Uncle Benno did say talk. He would talk, but not cozy. Listen, this is just natural reaction when you're caught up in your emotions. So it's not about condemning it. It's about saying, hey, pay attention to that. If you keep doing that, something that happens on a repeated basis, that should be checked. You should seek wise counsel. Okay? Again, we can't really condemn, like the idea of condemnation bringing into this conversation doesn't help. It's not about condemning them. It's about paying attention and saying, hey, I'm in a relationship. I feel the need to not talk for 24 hours, 48 hours. And I'm comfortable with that. That's not a healthy relationship. Something is wrong, Uncle Benno did say, to me, malice is not negative. Malice involves negative ulterior motives. We've already dissected that here. This context, we're talking about malice keeping. Particularly, the other person will receive it as malice keeping. You might not necessarily, your intentions might not be ulterior motives. It still can be received that way, which means if it's received that way, it can hurt you and your relationship. You should pay attention to it. All right? And it's not good enough to say, I don't see it that way. Because it's not about you seeing it that way. The other person seeing it that way will destroy your family if you do it long enough. And not everybody is going to be lucky enough to come out on the other side. Okay? So it's not good enough to say I don't see it that way. It's not good enough to say that's my personal approach, because we're all just trying to learn, like he rightfully said. If you're dealing with the person, the partner, because one of the things he brought up, which was valid, is that you deal with the partner that is my way or the highway, my way or no way. If you're dealing with that kind of person, that is your responsibility, not your fault. That's your responsibility. Learning how to get across to that person. Learning how to get across to that person with healthy communication strategies is something that I advise you to make your responsibility. It's good for you. It's a skill set that will actually help you in other aspects of life, right? Like, it seems like they shut down, but you have the skills to open them up. It's like I'm teaching you sales now, okay? This is something that, like, there's a benefit to getting them to open up. So I'll tell you like this. If we're talking about, let me make it general to women. Women that feel heard and seen, if she feels heard and seen, you can penetrate everything. Physically, mentally, emotionally. If she doesn't feel heard and seen, blockity, everything shuts down. You cannot penetrate anything. Okay? So how are we going to teach women then? Okay. Let me teach women, okay? Ladies, okay? If you don't feel heard and you dash him to penetrate you, you will resent it. You will punish him 2 times more the next time you come back around to it. If you have issues about your husband not capable of making you feel safe and secure enough, seek wise counsel. You cannot sustain leading that relationship in a romantic direction. Typically, you're not capable. That's not what you're designed to do. You're designed to receive, multiply, and reciprocate, which means he benefits more when you figure this out. You benefit too, but he benefits more than you playing fairness. Okay? He doesn't want you to be leading. He might think he wants you to do that or to sometimes lead. He will resent it. He will call you masculine at some point, because as much as he might look good on this end of things, on the other side, you come off as masculine. It's a complicated stuff. So if that helps you, ladies, sure. But this is the way it plays out in romantic relationships. Fairness is not real in romantic relationships. If it seems like it's real, it's because it's now become second nature. People have figured themselves out already, right? So they're in a place, meaning you guys have been together and you've done it so well long enough and you're taking care of each other. And you're using that to advise people that are inside of poto. Could they work? Okay, let's keep going. I don't like sleeping on things. Uncle Beno told us finally that he's not the person we're talking about. Right there. Okay? He just wants to have a conversation. Some of us are like that. We want to talk it out. Those of us that are like that, we have to learn to give people space. If they can't receive what you're saying right now, let them, okay, babe, I'm just going to say this. I'll let you think about it. As a matter of fact, here's 20 million naira. Go and think about it. Come back to me so we can talk about this. About that's the most sex, not the money. But I'm just saying, if you can maintain your cool in that way, maintain your masculine frame in that way when you're communicating with your wife, trust me, she will process it. She might be the one to come back to you first. Or use other apology languages like feeding you a solid inyo alamala just to communicate that you could talk now. It's okay. As a matter of fact, you can come on, take me, right? Yeah, these are the things that you're looking for, not fairness like you're at your workplace. That's not sexy, okay? I don't like sleeping on things. Okay, so we talked about that. Uncle Ben is not the person we're talking about. When you do something that is not right, Uncle Beno is going back to right and wrong. If the wife does something that is not right, he said he stays on my mind. He wants to talk it out. So it's not about wanting to talk it out or not wanting to. Communication is key, right? But one thing that's greater than communication is how you communicate. All right. I'm over time, 30 minutes, I'm aware, but I want us to finish this today. Okay? Because I will actually engage my soft life after this. Okay? Then Uncle Beno enter Shalaye mode. Being with my wife for 21 years, yeah, don't do that with the ladies. They will tell you instantly like, oh, you've been in the lady for 21 years. Would that help? That's what they will say to you. All right. So you see me, I generally don't talk about how long I've been in it, because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's how well, it's not how long, right? And in some, let me give you this example. We have an anniversary that we count that is more like 6 or 7 years. And then we have the long one, right? Those are two different marriages. If you don't get it, where is it? I can't find it. You don't get it?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
All right. So if you are going through a crisis in your marriage, that's actually a good thing. You might end up with 2 anniversaries like my wife and I. All right. So that's a good thing. Okay. That's a good thing. But that's also to tell you that it's not how long, it's how well. It's how well. That's the point I'm making there. Then Uncle Ben was very adamant on knowing your partner. Know how they respond before you marry. We don't disagree with that, you know. But you cannot know your partner until you know yourself, right? You cannot know your partner until you know yourself. You cannot, emotional intelligence is 3 layers to it. There is knowing yourself when it comes to emotions. First layer. Second layer is knowing how to read other people's emotions, like reading the room, not the room yet, reading the person. Just you're open, active listening until you get a good gauge of where their emotions are. You cannot do that unless you have a good centered self-control on your own emotions, right? And then the third layer of emotional intelligence is social intelligence. Learning how to read a room, learning how to read the vibe, learning how to, some people call it diplomatic. It's actually not just diplomatic, it's engaging your power. Because when you know how to, if they feel heard, remember with the ladies, you can penetrate. Like if you're talking about a crowd or a room, or if they feel like you, like there's a way you carry yourself that they know that this person understands what's going on. You just attract respect, So I'm just going to stay there at that general. So I agree with know your partner, but that's literally impossible if you don't engage knowing yourself. So a lot of people want to know their partner before marriage. That idea tends to fall in the poto because they haven't even learned themselves yet. Hit the like button. Thank you. All right. Then Uncle Beno said, as a man, be the leader. He doesn't want to hear that as a man, be the leader thing. We need to be obsessed with that henceforth. Gentlemen, okay? You are a king. That is a good thing. Please do not get off your throne to say, let's be fair. You are the king. Please. I beg you, just keep listening until it lands, until it hits. I can't over-explain that right now because I'm getting tired too. Just keep listening until it hits, okay? Does that mean men cannot be victims? They can be. Even at that, they struggle with admitting that they're a victim because they can't just lose guard. Because at some point, we need men to be vulnerable, right? You have to lose guard small, right? But that's something that a typical man should struggle with. He should learn it as a skill. Well, also when a woman has game, he can make a man get vulnerable, right? He finish having sex, he gets knocked off, and he doesn't care if somebody kills him in the middle of the night. I'm just giving extreme examples, right? So the point here is that please don't get off your throne to come and be playing me too with women. That's not sexy. It's off. It's out of order. All right. If you feel like you're a victim, remove yourself. That instant fairness, instant. If it's that bad, remove yourself. Okay. But do it from a place of being intentional. So remove yourself can also mean, shut down. Well, it depends. So it now depends on case by case. What are we talking about exactly? But you're not going to be married to a woman. You're not talking to her for days in the same household. You've lost your position, right? So that makes it. So if it sounds like a contradiction, it depends on. It's a case by case. Are you scared for your life? Why would you leave your house for days? Like, why are you not talking to your wife for days? Let me call it what it is, a punk move, okay? It's soft. That's soft behavior, okay? That's not masculine, all right? So please don't expect her, even if you come back and she not come back and apologize to you, she resents that. She just lost respect a little bit for you. All right, let's keep going. He said, arriving at a mutually agreed conclusion, Madame will not yield, right? So that's going back to that, is your way or your highway. We already talked about that. There's a good chance that she doesn't feel heard. That's going to pull a heightened level of patience from you. That's something you should now be prepared for the rest of your life. Suru lafin shokobiri. Yes, much patience is required. Not necessarily for her, for yourself. Hey, gentlemen, have some patience for yourself. Just listen. You don't have to land all the points right now. Listen. Take your time. Okay, babe, I've heard you. Let's talk about it tomorrow. You be the first to do that. Don't insist that we must finish that conversation tonight. Don't do that. That's not sexy, by the way. Let's keep going. I know everybody taught you. Don't go to bed with it. Baba, if your wife don't want to talk about it right now, she wants to sleep, that's an opportunity for you to exercise your masculine frame. Let her go and sleep. So, babe, go and sleep. I got you. It's okay. No, if you're a talker, if you're like me, that's a difficult thing to do because you want to talk it out. But that's where the skills come in. You know that I'm going to stay sexy. Right? So why am I bringing sexy? Is everything always sexy, Baba? You'll be shocked though. All right? You know how many women are begging for a little bit of romance? Like, he's just so like he calls it traditional, but no, actually she knows what sexy is like. It has nothing to do with traditional. She fell in love with you and you were always traditional. There's something that's missing. It's not the flowers. It's not the flowers. Because we like to hide under that too. You want all this Oyinbo stuff. It's not the Oyinbo stuff we're asking for. There's something that made her fall in love with you in the first place. You've lost it. She can't see it now. Or vice versa, ladies. Okay? The vice versa. Once she noticed this guy has shut down, at what point? Some people might not notice in that way because they are that much of a coconut head. And you trying to multiply it ahead of them, could it work? So let's teach women. I think when it comes to romantic relationships, women yield to your masculine energy for the most part. If she's an evil person, there's only one thing you should do. Leave her right now, tonight. If we're talking about a person who was once upon a time in love with you, bruh, we need to teach you. If she's complaining, ladies, if you're the one complaining, then definitely we need to teach you. But it's not sustainable long term. At some point, you're going to need a man who make you feel safe, loved, and secure. Okay, so that's not sustainable because that's where the balance that y'all need so badly, that's where it comes from. It comes from sexual polarity. It doesn't come from you do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. That stuff, cancel it out. Okay, that's not how that works. Anyway, I think we've done this justice. I think we've done well with this one. Chidima says, aha, and I still there here. Good evening, MOP. Good evening, Chidima. Good to see you. Let's see. Abby Doll says, no, let me go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, all right, good. Sesmo say, and then 10 years later, you discover she is your landlord. She has been quiet the whole time, letting you have your way. Yeah, we got to know that just because it looks certain way on the surface doesn't mean it's good. You got to pay that much attention. And paying attention sound like work? Not really. It just depends, I'm just saying, if you're complaining, then you should know that there's probably resentment underneath. You probably should do something about that now. Don't wait long. Don't wait too long. Sparkleberry says, as for me and my generation, we will not keep malice. We have never done it and do not plan to behave poorly in the near future. Good. Women become men when they keep babysitting or leading men and taking up the responsibility of men. Yoruba will say, ato di ọkùnrin. Stay. Oh, so Yoruba people say that. Send me more. I need to see that. Ato, oto di rere mi, oto di ọkùnrin. Oto di ọkùnrin. Stay in your femininity, ladies. It's doable. Yes. So that's one thing we can teach ladies. Uncle Ben wants us to teach ladies, and I think Auntie B will come up with something later for the ladies, because I think it's better when it comes from the woman to be teaching them. There are certain things about your feminine energy that you need to learn, but I feel like it lands better when it's coming from a lady. I do have a resource. If you're in the backstage, I will share it with you that can help you ladies with regards to that. If you do it, Imam might just get wet and start doing everything you want for you. Okay? So if you're not, it's not do it, there's no it. If you show this energy, this feminine energy, if you exude this energy, there's not an it thing. It's the same thing I was saying. It's more of an art than it's an exact science. It's either you're good at it or you're not good at it. If you've never been good at it, or you find yourself in a situation where you've become okuni, you're not showing masculine, it's going to take, there's a habit that you need to change. It takes a while too. All right, so let's just keep that at the back of our mind. Let me see here. The backstage here. If you come to the backstage, I'll share the resource with you. All right. Let me see here. What else are we dealing with here? The backstage on WhatsApp, yes. Uncle Beno says, I like the idea of 2 anniversaries. Yeah, 2 anniversaries because when you enter marriage, when you say I do, you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't end up in poto poto, that coconut head is very difficult to remove. Yeah, that's, if you don't hit rock bottom, you're not able to listen. Sorry. The Basbo's anniversary and the Soft Life anniversary. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Chinye. Is the resource woo thinking? Yes, it's a woo. Yeah. I'll share. Just don't give it now. Come to the backstage if you want it. Thank God my 2 troublemakers came later. You guys are awesome. The Prestige family is awesome. Okay. I always enjoy this small room. I enjoy it, believe it or not, I enjoy it more than the trendy stuff. Okay. So if we share it and share it and share it and share it, and we get some, because if we do stuff that's not good for the numbers too, that's not good in the long run. So if you share it, it will help YouTube find other people that are engaging this kind of conversation. And then obviously the more the merrier. But we're cooking, we're doing some work. We have a lot of work coming. All right. So be on the lookout for that. For those of you that want to talk to me, I do offer a complimentary coaching, 30 minutes coaching session. You can send me an email at ask@manofprestige.com so I can hear your story and then see if our program is a fit for you. And then also, if you don't feel like you're ready, or you just want to, go and download the books for free. These 2 books right here, just go and download them for free at manofprestige.com. And then once you confirm, you enter your email where you want us to send it, you will see more information about to reach out to us. So you can reach out directly by phone number and all those kind of things. All right. With that being said, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.